Hello, my dear friends. I'm back with a new episode of The Strapped, and this episode is a special one to cover more about the implications of this uh, ongoing conflict between US, Israel, and Iran, and the effect of it on the businesses, the effect on the aviation industry. I have covered in my previous video, so I am going to cover more details uh, in this video about overall implications for the other businesses as well. Uh, However, before I start, I sincerely hope that all of you are doing good and you are safe wherever you are. So, if you are in somewhere in the Middle East and in the Gulf region where the conflict is ongoing, I hope that all of you are uh, taking the right shelters to keep yourself and your family safe. And I sincerely hope that all of you uh, a very safe and careful time for the upcoming days, and please be safe. So with that, let's get into the details about the broader implication of this conflict. As you might be already knowing that US and Israel had a joint strike on Iran on February 28th, early morning, and then on uh, the conflict has further escalated, not only just eliminating the top leadership of Iran and their Revolutionary Guard, but also it has you know uh, created a major implication in terms of the retaliation that has followed from the Iranian side to the other Gulf nations who are hosting some of the major US air bases and other military bases. So the attack on those bases as well as on the civilian uh, uh, infrastructure, including hotels and some of the other areas, which has caused some of the civilian casualties as well. um, However, as I covered in my previous video, that it has created a huge disruption for the aviation industry, because it's not only closed the Iranian airspace, but the entire Gulf region and the airspace of the Gulf region. And because of that, most of the carriers uh, from India, whoever wanted to fly towards not only just the Middle East, but to fly to Central Asia or Eastern Europe, Northern Europe, and in fact on for the Western Europe as well, because they all transit through this region, the airspaces in this region, all the carriers use. And apart from that, you all know that the major carriers of this region, like Etihad, Emirates, and Qatar Airways, so they also had to stop their entire operation, because their major hubs in Dubai, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi are also under um, attack and under tremendous strain of safety. They they had to they had to stop the operation. So in last couple of days or 3 days uh, since the last this conflict started, so in that last few days, there are like more than 2000 flights per day were cancelled. And the Indian Airlines itself had to cancel about 300 flights per day, so which are causing major business damages, right? Forget about uh, the the implications on the safety of their staffs and the passengers stranded there. Uh, so it's a major uh, challenge for the governments as well as for the airlines to keep them safe, because when the civilian infrastructures are also getting bombarded. But uh, the business implications, because in this particular video I wanted to talk about the business implications, so I'll cover more of those, because you know now it's not just about the aviation industry or this major business hubs in Dubai or Doha, but or Abu Dhabi, but also the Strait of Hormuz is also blocked by Iran, and so no ships uh, are able to enter that strait, and which has caused a a major disruption for the you know uh, for the global trade, because almost one fifth of the world energy trade, in terms of the crude oil, um, as well as the natural gas that passes through this region. So if that region is blocked, so what that means that hundreds of millions of barrels of oil is stuck, and they are in danger of being destroyed, as well as the buyers, and especially in Asia, like in India or in China and in Japan and Korea. So they are facing the challenges of getting their deliveries of the natural gases, LPGs, and as well as the oil. uh, what does that mean? That means that the energy prices are going to go up. And what does that implicates? So the implication of energy prices going up is uh, almost everywhere. So all your manufacturing, all your transportation, everywhere the inflation will increase, because the energy prices have gone up. And apart from that, also the major other major problem is that mm, uh, it's not just about the energy. There are critical minerals, there are other raw materials and other products that gets traded between other countries as well as in the Gulf. So now all those are under huge strain, and which means that billions of dollars in trade are in jeopardy um, today, and which has global implications in terms of the global GDP, in terms of global growth, as well as some of the countries whose GDP and uh, whose entire growth depends upon uh, the supplies coming through this region, or from this region, uh, are going to be extremely in danger. So overall, there is a very dangerous and volatile situation for all the businesses. And as a business leader myself, I would definitely caution the other businesses, and this is where the risk planning and risk assessment uh, comes into the picture. So I'm sure the boards of different organizations are looking into this seriously, and they are kind of trying to double down uh, on the alternatives, and assess the risk that their respective organizations are facing. Um, but over and above, apart from this business losses, what really saddens me is that uh, the loss of life, because uh, whenever there is a war, so the missiles and the bombs will not uh, look at whether you are a civilian or a military person, but they will fall and they will burst wherever uh, it falls. So it's a disaster whenever or wherever the war happens. And I sincerely hope that uh, everybody comes to the discussion table, and that gets sorted out amicably, and this disruptions and this killing stops as soon as possible. So with that, I will hope for again. I will hope for everyone's safety, and I wish that all of you are safe and sound wherever you are. Please be safe. And with that, please, uh, if you like my video, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Thank you.